Aha! I did not forget the main song. After a snafu of an opener, hello everyone. Welcome to State of the Realm, weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast, where we've been doing a lot of community stuff lately, but this week we have a lot of information coming out of France from the media tour for Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward that took place last week. We have a ton of stuff to get through, so let's get right through to the opener and introduce our two hosts. You already know who I am, Michael, Mr. Happy Poveroma, but joining me is the host with the most, Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyh, aka Greyfox, aka you, my boy Blue. I'm stopping there for this week. What's going on, man?
Should I do this in slow motion? You, my boy.
Okay, come on. This is the part that's only on YouTube. They don't need to know what happened during the intro.
You, my boy Blue. There we go.
You, my boy Blue.
It's not in slow motion. Like.
Man, Crayon's gonna have a gif of that in
of course he is.
5 minutes.
Of course he is.
Yeah. How you doing, Slyh?
I'm doing awesome, man.
You're doing awesome possum?
Awesome possum. Possum level awesome.
Possum level awesome. Well, we've had a lot of time to look over these notes from the past week, and man, since Thursday, the information has just been pouring out. A lot of the stuff we're going to be talking about tonight is even just from earlier today.
Hey. Yeah.
It's crazy the rate at which... It's just weird because we go with these dry spells of no information at all, and then this happens. And it's like, wow, we don't even know if we can fit all of this into one show.
And it's funny how much information we're getting, and of course, we're getting more information at E3, which is right around the corner. So it's funny. We're getting a lot of information in a short span of time. Normally, we get this maybe once a month, maybe, but I love this rate of information we're getting.
Yeah, and to think we only have 3 weeks till early access.
Yes.
It's the 26th today. June 19th is early access.
E3 is just going to make that go so fast.
And Square Enix has their own booth at E3 this year.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time ever, they have their own, not booth, presentation. They have their own conference.
Yeah.
Everything.
They're not piggybacking on Sony or anybody. They have their own conference.
It's going to be a great year for us RPG nerds, I have a feeling, especially for us Final Fantasy XIV fans. But what do you say, Slyh? We got a lot of stuff to get through.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be I foresee a pretty long show, which I like.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. What's that from? Never mind. Anyway, so first we're going to start off with the Live Letter 21, which aired last Thursday at noon Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It was pretty much just... It wasn't like our standard Live Letter where they do a big like Q&A or anything like that. It was literally just like, yeah, don't ask any questions. We have plenty of answers that you don't even bother asking questions. We have answers to all your questions right here. They showed off job animations. They talked about new rotations for the existing jobs. They showed off a bunch of areas. They detailed the open world a little bit more. They showed us a fat flying chocobo, which was hilarious. It was pretty much everything we could ask for.
Is that chocobo really going to be fat at the end of the day?
Listen, do you see what happens when you start flying as opposed to when you're on the ground?
It changes the cake. The Gishel Green changes the cake, and the chocobo is just struggling. Like, it's not going to be a fat chocobo. Like, give it a few hours, it's not going to be fat anymore. It's going to be the size of Bandit.
So you're saying Bandit was once fat?
No, Bandit's always been skinny. No,
Bandit's always been skinny? Is that because you beat him?
No, don't even say I'll use him. I knew you were.
Is that because you just don't feed him and he just never gains any weight? He sounds like Bandit could use some cake.
Bandit could use some cake.
I mean,
Bandit
I could use
all
some
the time because he's with me and he does some crap. But we're putting that behind us. Yes.
Never forget.
Once I saw the fat chocobo flying, I had imagery of my head of a squadron of fat chocobos just diving in like a V formation in danger zone in the back of my head. Like, it looked cool. It looked cool as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I would love to use fat chocobos now more than ever.
It's funny, with all the new mounts we're getting, it's going to be fat chocobos raining from the sky. That's it. Don't worry about dive bombs, guys. Just worry about fat chocobos. just jumping on you. It's a good thing if we had open world PvP, nothing would be more insulting than having somebody jump off a fat chocobo to kill you in the open world. So they showed off so much stuff. The first thing they did was they walked around Ishgard, and there was a bunch of debug NPCs that apparently we weren't supposed to see. I don't even I don't even.
Why is Yoshi P not good at keeping secrets? It's just, oh, we're not supposed to go here. Oh, sorry, I couldn't tell you that. Like, no, he's doing that on purpose. We have YouTube to go back to just to pause to see anything. Apparently, somebody saw Minfilia.
A naked Minfilia.
Maybe.
Yeah, I heard about that there was one of the NPCs was a naked Minfilia. I was like, okay. It's funny how you saw that over everything else. Anyway, hey, guess what? That's a spoiler.
Yeah.
That's a massive spoiler. If that's what, if that is what they saw, then that's a massive spoiler. It was Broomfilia, my bad. So they walked around Ishgard for a little bit. They showed off the areas. They talked about the lore behind it. You know, they showed the market district. They showed the slums. They showed sort of the middle class and higher class areas. They also said the guilds for the three new jobs are going to be in Ishgard themselves. So I guess there's no question on where to go to unlock them at this point.
Pretty much. I pretty much figured that myself. That for me to do Dark Knight would be in Ishgard. It would make sense to have it in any other city state. So, yeah.
And there's also been some lore updates to the official website regarding these jobs too. Apparently, Dark Knight's not all that evil. Have you read that? They're not. Well, I mean, you look at them and you're like, wow, these are good guys. No, they look like they got some dark stuff going on with them.
No, they don't. They look fucking awesome. What's wrong with you?
So you can't look awesome, and so they look awesome. Therefore, they're good guys.
Yes. Logic.
Sound logic. Sly.
Very.
Yeah. Very, very, very sound. So, if you want to unlock the free new jobs right when the expansion comes out, as long as you finish patch 2.55, just go to the guilds. They'll be on the minimap. I guess that's all it's really going to take at this point. After they were done walking around Ishgard, though, they showed off the Korthus Western Highlands and the Dravanian Forelands. So there wasn't too much in terms of, like, you kind of had to see it in order for it to really have any impact. Korthus Western Highlands is actually an area that existed back in 1.0, though.
I was not aware of that.
Korthus used to be, so where we are right now, we're in the Korthus, Central Highlands, I think is the name of the zone.
Central.
Yeah. Central is, there's a western, an eastern, a southwestern, and a southeastern. I don't know if those were their names, but Korthus used to be 5 times the size it is right now.
But with the way they flew around the maps, it seems to be that, like, most of the maps that we saw in the presentation could take up all of Korthus, based on what I saw, because they were fairly large. I don't know if you noticed that, but...
Yeah, even on the flying mouse, those zones were big. And it was nice seeing that there were no invisible walls outside of the walls to the zone. If on your mini-map there's an area that's not marked, it just means you can't land there, but you can still fly over it. So it's a lot more seamless in a sense that obviously you're still going to have to zone between, Korthus Western Highlands and Ishgard and any other, the Dravanian Forelands, all the adjacent areas. But within the area itself, it was a lot less disconnected, I felt.
Yeah, I agree.
And also the first dungeon, the Dusk Vigil. Because everyone loves Stone Vigil, let's send us the Dusk Vigil.
Shouldn't be that bad, right?
No, it's the very first dungeon that you'll run into at level 52, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it's actually even part of the main story. I think we learned a little bit about that today. We found out today that 4 of the dungeons, there are 4 main story dungeons, like Snowcloak kind of main story, not like Castrum main story. But there's 8 dungeons total, so I wonder what that means.
So once we get to 60, we're getting 4 more.
I don't think that's the case. I think it could be like...
Well, no.
No. All right, listen. It could be like Sunken Temple of Karn, where it's not mandatory, and it's like, it's off on the side, or like the hard mode dungeons, where it's off on the side. I don't think that means we're getting 4 level... Do you really think that means we're getting 4 level 60 dungeons? Because eventually we're going to have Dusk Vigil hard mode.
I would hope.
This is even more curious to me, because... How many hard mode? We had 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. We had 10 hard mode dungeons in total back from A Realm Reborn, right?
Right.
So we have 8 hard modes here. Does that mean we're only going to go up to patch 3.4? Does it mean we're going to see an influx of unique dungeons at some point?
At some point, I just don't know when.
Like literally an extra 2 dungeons that aren't refurbished hard modes. Like they're literally like imagine a patch with 3 dungeons that, like, if Lost City of Amdapor, Snowcloak, and Keeper all came out in the same patch. Do you think we'll see that in like 3.5 or something like that?
Sooner.
Sooner? Ooh.
Yeah.
You think they'll spread them out?
Yeah, they'll spread them out, but yeah, I think it's sooner than 3.5.
Well, we got a lot more to talk about the dungeons later, so let's keep talking about flying around these areas. Now, one thing they detailed while they were flying around these areas was the means to unlock flying mounts, the ability to actually use your flying mounts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a fan of it to a degree. For those wondering at home, they said that you're going to have to attune to, they called it wind currents on the live stream, but another recent translation calls them wind etherites, where it's basically a bunch of points around the map where you have to learn the wind currents of the area, and once you know them all, you can fly in that area. The main story will take you to some of them, but the others are going to require you to explore the map a little bit and uncover areas. Then once you have your flying mounts, you can continue on with the main story quests or any of the optional quests in the area that required flying to get to and from places.
So what are you going to do first? Are you going to, just progress through the story and get the currents that way, or are you just going to try to explore? Because me personally, I want to be able to explore as freely as I can, so I want to get all the currents before doing anything else.
But I mean, if you get some of them doing the main story, it's just going to be a point where you can't go any further in the main story because you can't get to some place because you can't fly, and then you could go discover them.
Right.
So it's a matter of, I think I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to do the main story until I need to fly in an area, and then I'll probably go get the rest of the wind currents. As long as flying is a requirement in these new zones, that was a big thing I was worried about with with just flying mounts in general, is zones not really needing that third dimension in order to be fully explored, and it seems they are trying to just make it more fluid, in a sense. Like, the flying feels natural in those areas.
Right.
Or you could be like in the chat where we have to worry about first getting past the 90k boss. We have to worry about not disconnecting when we get in the zone before we can worry about the wind currents.
Yeah.
Are you worried about the disconnects at all? How much do you think you're going to disconnect over on Behemoth?
I don't want to think about it. I don't, because Behemoth's a high pop server, so I don't know. It's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen to a select few. Hopefully not me, but if you're on a high population server, like, and this is where I'm kind of jealous of people who are on low population servers. And quick story, and no disrespect to servers, I love all servers, but you notice how Yoshi P was doing the demonstration and there was nobody on. Like, he was the only one running around. There were NPCs, but no other, player characters, right?
Yeah.
Like, somebody in the chat made the mention, like, it seems stupid. There's nobody else on this game. And I made the joke, and it was a bad taste joke. I made the joke. It's okay. He's playing on Zalera right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, if you're on Zalera, it's okay.
No, you're not. You made the joke in the first place. You're not feeling bad about it. I make that joke all the time at some point.
See, you make it all the time. That's just a one-time thing.
Here's the thing. Hashtag Zalera hype. Hashtag Zalera hype. That's not a joke. That's me bringing excitement to Zalera. There's nothing bad about that.
No. Just the 30 people is half your
Just the 30 Oh, Yoshi P was the only one. Imagine if it were really on Zalera. But Yoshi P had, like, everything enabled. It wasn't actually on, like, a private server or anything.
Right. That's what that's what I originally thought. Like, and then after the joke, I was like,
no, you didn't.
What if he's seriously on Zalera?
I don't know. Why don't we ask him, Sly? Why don't we ask?
You need to ask him, what server did you use for your demonstration?
Yeah, and he'll be like, and he replies, Zalera. All right, so that's what they really talked about while they were going through the Korth and Western Highlands.
Yeah.
Then they went over to the Dravanian Forelands. They showed off the area had chocobos as enemies, which
I don't know how to feel about that.
So if Bandit was a wild chocobo, and he aggroed you, but you knew it was Bandit, would you run or would you fight?
run. I don't want to fight Bandit.
Too easy?
Really? You're going to make that joke? You're going to make that joke?
Bandit's like, I know that Dragoon. I know that Dragoon.
Like,
I know him.
I'll let Bandit just go ham on other chocobos.
But he's with his own kin. He's not going to attack the other chocobos. Man, that's going to suck. If you bring your chocobo with you into the chocobo forest, it's chocobo. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Chocobo fighting.
That's chocobo fighting. Guys, that's it. We got to have...
Are we betting on chocobo fighting now?
Yeah, this is going to be Final Fantasy XIV's version of cockfighting.
Oh,
it's gonna be chocobo fighting.
Chocobo.
We're gonna wait till it's midnight in Eorzea, and we're just gonna go to the deepest section of the forest and just pit our chocobos against the wild ones.
Terrible. This is why.
Yeah, why would you do that, Sly?
I wouldn't.
You just said you would.
But hey, if a chocobo comes at me, I'm not gonna want to take it down. I want it to be one of its own kind. You know, put it down.
You're gonna put down Bandit?
I'm not gonna put down Bandit. Bandit's gonna put other chocobos down. Chocobo ain't going down for shit.
Bandit's like a veterinarian of chocobos. Just like I need to put your chocobo down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going on a dark turn here. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving on. Now the other thing they talked about while they were talking about the chocobo forest was actually the enemies in the expansion are going to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you fight 2 or more that are at the same level as you, you better either be A, prepared to do your best, or B,
prepared to run.
Run. That is very different from the way that I do spirit bonding over an Earth's Gift right now.
So there will be, for any other goons, there will be no more goon tanking at all.
No, I think now it'll be more prevalent than ever. They'll be able to take 3 enemies on at the same time. They got that extra armor, they'll be alright. Just don't use blood for blood. And make sure you put Feint back on your hotbar, because let's be honest here, no one puts it on their hotbar, unless they're PvPing. Unless they're PvPing, nobody puts Feint on their hotbar.
I don't even put it on during PvP. I have a PvP hotbar, and it's not there.
It's not there. It's like, I'd rather just kill them in 3 global cooldowns instead of slowing them.
Yeah.
That works. I agree. I approve. So, I don't know. And they said that if you try to go to areas like Beast Tribe areas, that you should be prepared to team up with a few people. Otherwise, you probably won't be able to get through. Which implies you won't be able to just fly over everything in a Beast Tribe zone, as it is. Because...
I'm taking a party. I'm taking a party.
What content could they possibly have in these Beast Tribe areas that make you go, yeah, let me get a party for this? For what? Oh, for what? For this Fate? Is that it?
Who does Fates by themselves anyway?
You can't see it right now, but I'm raising my hand. Because I'm queuing for a dungeon at the same time. I'm multitasking.
No, I'm talking about, like, soloing Fates. Like, a Fate that nobody goes to, a.k.a. the Cyclops Fate in freaking Kurthus.
How is that any different now? Nobody goes to it, so what does it matter if you're going to team up anyway? If nobody's going to go to it, you wouldn't even be able to team up in the first place. How? How are you gonna find... I guarantee you go to Party Finder right now, you still won't find 8 people to do that Fate.
Want to make that bet?
No. Because now everyone's heard me make that bet, so everyone's gonna get on Behemoth and be like, Sly, make that Party Finder.
Yep.
Make it.
I bet you even after this show, people are gonna Party Find that Fate in Kurthus. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Please look forward to it. Hi.
Alright, so enemies are going to be stronger. Some sort of content will be present there, I suppose. Other than that, they kind of just went back and they explored Ishgard a little bit more. But there wasn't too much. They showed off DX11 graphics. Oh, the shadows look nice. There were 12 pillars of 12 founding knights. Well, within the pillars of Ishgard, there were 12 statues of the founding knights of Ishgard. Okay. It's like, those are beautiful sights, but I will probably see them once and then fly off into the distance and never see them again.
Maybe a new place for the ceremony? Maybe?
What, new wedding location?
Yeah, maybe.
Better call it off tomorrow then. You heard him, Lex. Gotta call off the wedding now because we gotta wait till Ishgard.
No. She's already got her hair redid and she's gonna do it again one more time for the wedding.
It's okay. It's okay, Sly. She'll understand when you cancel it to wait for Ishgard.
No,
Ishgard wedding areas.
I'm not canceling shit.
You have the Archbishop be your priest.
Now thinking about that, that does sound good. That does sound good. Even though
With the Asians behind him and everything, and they're just like, yeah. That's all right, Sly. When you disappear, we'll know what happened.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be all my fault. Okay, so while they were done exploring some of the areas, they started talking about the new job actions. And this was where things got really, really good. Because...
More confusing?
Nah, confusing. I don't think so.
There's one in particular, and we'll get to it. When we get to it, I'll ask you a question. But yeah, it was good, but confusing.
All right, well, I'm actually going to play the job actions video with... we're not going to have any audio. We're going to be talking over it, but we're going to start going through some of the different job actions here. So let me pull that up on the screen. When I switch it... Oh, no, it actually is on the screen right away. So it's muted, so you guys can't hear it. But we have a bunch of actions here. We're not going to be talking about them in the order they appear in the video, because for some reason, the order they appeared in the video and the order they talked about them during the live stream were completely different. I have no idea why. So the first... yeah, because they can't, you know... Why do it in order? What's the fun in that?
Yeah.
So the first one they actually talked about was the Black Mage. And they have...
And that's the one I have a question about. I'm glad you did this first. Thank you. Keep going.
I'm doing them in the order that the forums did them in, man. That's all that matters to me, man. So, so the first new thing they got was an ability called Ley Lines, which I've been calling Elemental Seal on State of the Realm for, I think, like a couple weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a buff that they place on the ground, and while they're standing in that field of AoE, the Black Mage gets a 15% spell speed buff. If they leave the Ley Lines, the effect disappears, but as long as they never leave the outside of it, they can move around freely within it and still maintain the buff.
Keep going.
This isn't where the question is?
Nope. Keep
Nope.
going.
Sly won't say anything till we get to the part with the question, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Next ability is Sharp Cast. So you guys know we have Sure Cast and Swift Cast. Now Black Mages have Sharp Cast, which is an ability where it will guarantee that their next spell gives them a proc. So if you cast Sharp Cast Fire 1, you get a Firestarter proc. Sharp Cast Thundercloud proc, I guess. I don't exactly know how that's going to work. But yeah, that's good for mobility. It's good for burst damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's also not where your question is, I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. And then we get to the final ability that they shared, Enochian. Now, when this ability is active, it's a 30-second buff that grants you access to the Fire 4 and Blizzard 4 spells. Fire 4 can only be cast while it's in Astral Fire, and Blizzard 4 can only be cast while in Umbral Ice. Fire 4 and Blizzard 4 also do not refresh Astral Fire and Umbral Ice, so you have to be worked in with your other abilities. Blizzard 4 also has the added effect of extending Enochian's duration, but every time you extend it, its maximum duration goes down by 5. So it goes from 30 seconds with the initial duration. Cast Blizzard 4 once, 25 seconds. Cast it again, 20 seconds. 15, 10, 5, until it just doesn't work anymore. Sly, I've been waiting for you to finally say you have the question. Where is it?
Okay. All right. First things first. In terms of raw damage,
Okay.
Fire 3 does 1,000, right?
You mean just straight up damage? I don't know
Yeah.
what its potency is. No, man, that depends entirely on how much, what your stats are.
Yeah, in terms of stats, yeah, but raw damage. But when we were looking at this, and a few of us brought this up in the chat, Fire 1 does more damage than Fire 4. Why?
It does?
Yes.
It says it does the same damage as Fire 3, but it costs 40% less MP.
Mm-mm. The way we saw it, it just looked like Fire 1 did a lot more damage than Fire 4.
I don't know. They just detailed that earlier today. And it says that Fire 4 it's the same potency as Fire 3, but it's it's 40% less MP, and I believe it's a shorter cast time too.
So maybe it has changed today. I'm not sure, but yeah. But when we saw this initially, we were all confused. I was confused, and I don't even play Black Mage.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the numbers during that time. I was just trying to write everything down that I could. There has to be a use for it. Like, come on. It's not magically just not gonna. They're just. Oh no, it does less damage. So have fun with that in your rotation. Sly, you look confused. Now it looks like you want to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it was confusing to me at the time.
It's okay, Sly. It's okay. Fire 1 crit during the stream. See, that's not fair. You can't compare a crit to a non-crit. All you people cheating trying to say Fire 1's better than Fire 4. We haven't seen Fire 4 yet. Other than like that little bit of footage. Oh, man. Well, yeah, Astral Fire had to have. I mean, Fire 4 had to have Astral Fire stacks because you can't cast it without Astral Fire stacks. And then Blizzard 4 resetting the duration on Enochian pretty much means it's your goal throughout the entire fight is to keep Enochian up for like near 100% just by refreshing it over and over again.
Black Mage monks.
Black mages are gonna have some stuff going on. Yeah, it's like Grease Lightning for black mages, pretty much.
Yeah, that's Black Mage monks.
That's pretty cool.
I need my stacks up. I need my stacks.
Please.
Now you know what we go through, and I'm not even a monk. I'm just a pugilist.
I can't wait to see those swift cast Blizzard 4s in order. Like, oh, I need to keep it up. Oh, I need to keep my Enochian up. Damn. Okay. So moving on from the Black Mage, the next one we have is the Paladin. I love how on the forums Black Mage was just first because Yoshi P mains a Black Mage, and then they go in like order of tanks, DPS, healers. Thank you, Yoshi P, for making this make a whole lot of sense. So luckily, the video we have on the screen right now, I'm going to restart it in a second here, and it's going to start with the Paladin actions, thankfully. Super professional, just hitting replay on a video in the middle of the show. So the next one was Paladin. So they have a new Rage of Halone combo. Well, they have a new Savage Blade combo and a new Riot Blade combo. Those were detailed a little bit earlier, and we're going to be talking more about those two specific combos later. We know one of them adds a dot and one of them's increased damage. I believe the Riot Blade combo turns into a dot, and the Savage Blade combo is just a non-Rage of Halone damage combo. But I'll have to check the notes that we have for later. We'll be going over that when we talk about some of the other details. They also have a new action called Divine Veil, which puts a protective barrier around them. And if you receive cures while you're under their effect, other members will also receive a barrier effect. Is this like, is it like an Eloquium barrier, and you spread an Eloquium barrier? Is it damage reduction? What is it?
I want to Adlo.
You want Paladin to have Adlo?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Right.
Are you crazy?
Play with your skills. Give me something new.
Play with your skills. Scholars got Eloquium, and everyone loves that shit to no degree. It's like, wow, Eloquium's like one of the best skills in the game. And now you want Paladin?
Yeah.
How much MP would do you think Paladin would they have to use like half their MP to use it as a cooldown?
Probably. That's what that's what I've heard.
Would it generate additional enmity if a Paladin used it?
That's a good question.
Or at the start of a fight, is a Paladin going to go into like halfway through the Rage of Halone combo and lose aggro casting Eloquium? Or sorry, Divine Veil, because it's not Eloquium.
Yeah, Divine Veil. God, start of the fight.
I'm moving on.
I'm just thinking of like Raze in our T13s, like crit.
She's not a Paladin though.
She's not a Paladin though. That's the thing. You're only gonna get like maybe what 2 chances with a Paladin.
Exactly. That's all you need.
Crit.
That's all you need. Don't worry.
No, I didn't crit. Let's go. Look.
It's funny, for the entire time you were saying that crit, I think Skype was bugging out. Yeah. So it was, you sounded like a robot for the whole barrier. Alright, moving on. Anyway, and then they have a new action, which we've seen in the other trailer, where they put up a giant shield and it blocks an attack. It specifically blocked a projectile, a fire breath attack.
Yeah.
And apparently by using it, it'll allow you to use shield swipe more often.
Yay.
Yay, DPS. Any thoughts on the Paladin?
Out of the two, well, technically 3 tanks. Really, Paladin wasn't that interesting to me. I was actually a little bit more interested in Warrior because, well, we'll get to that in a.
Well, Warrior's next.
Yes.
Let's talk about Warrior. Sorry, Paladins, we're leaving you behind. Not even going to give an opinion. Anyway.
Let's talk about
I was happy Paladin was getting new abilities on Riot Blade and Savage Blade.
Yeah, whatever. Warrior's the DPS tank.
And people say I hate Paladin. Sly is like brutal right now. Even I'm a little offended for Paladins.
DP. Damn it. Warrior's a DPS tank.
All right, fine. We're moving on to the warrior.
Yay!
Because Slyh hates Paladin. Anyway.
I don't. I just like warrior better.
Okay, just likes warrior better, guys. You heard it here. He hates it. Anyway, so warrior's getting a new ability, a new stance like Defiance called Deliverance. And while in Deliverance, you get stacks of, what is it, Abandon? Yeah, stacks of, or well, I think it's a typo. I'm pretty sure it's Abandon. Because it says Abaddon here on the official forums. Almost sure it's called Abandon. And just like Wrath, you can expend them on offensive abilities. It's literally a DPS stance for warriors, like you said.
Yes.
And there's a self-healing ability. Did you see how much health that self-healing ability? They detailed it today. If you had to guess how much health a warrior would get back from a cooldown, how much would you guess?
His own cooldown?
Yeah.
At most, maybe 3 or 4.
5,000 was how much it gave back.
Like
A 5,000 point self-heal. I'm sure that has a long cooldown, but a 5,000 point heal. And according to this, there's a weapon skill that consumes Abandon. Oh yeah, it does say Abandon here. As well as self-healing abilities, plural. So one of them is 5,000.
So basically, warriors can take care of themselves now.
Yeah, so warriors are WoW Death Knights now. Have fun soloing Twintania.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun soloing Titan. Don't even worry. Don't even worry about the jails. Just pretend they're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be okay.
Don't break anyone out. Just keep.
No, you're a warrior. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
So next we have Raw Intuition, which is another ability, which makes it so that when they use it, all enemies in front of them, all their attacks are automatically parried. But if they attack you from the rear or the flank, it automatically crits you. I don't know about you, but I was getting kind of infuriated the way people read this immediately. People were immediately like, oh, so if I just pop awareness, I won't get crit from behind, right? And like, the whole point is to line them all up in front of you so you parry them all. It's not this contingency plan is not what was meant to be. It's a pretty good cooldown, because this means you could tank like 20 adds in a speed run and parry all of them.
This is why I'm loving this a little bit more than Paladin, and a little bit more than Dark Knight, even though I'm going Dark Knight.
Slyh, that doesn't make any sense. Just go warrior. Just do it.
I promised Dark Knight. I promised the people Dark Knight. I have to give them Dark Knight, even though Warrior seems a little bit more awesome now after this.
Well, actually, how about I tell you some of the Dark Knight stuff that we found out today later, and we'll see if that doesn't change your mind. About Dark Knight being the most badass.
I pretty much made my mind up, but you can attempt. You can try.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Dark Knight next. So,
all right, fun.
Dark Knight is very similar to Warrior in a sense that they have an offensive stance and a defensive stance. Darkside is their offensive stance, where it's similar to Sword Oath, and it makes their attacks do more damage as opposed to generate more enmity. It uses MP over time to maintain the stance, and things like Ballad will not regenerate your MP. It needs to be self-regenerated with your own attacks.
And this is what I had an issue with. Like, we can't lead on Ballad. And that's what I was like, purposely leaning on, like, going in Dark Knight. Okay, yeah, I'm going to be a Dark Knight. I'm going to get that Ballad, right? No.
So what you're saying is that you're absolutely going to buy Piety Materia.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, all right, so you heard it here. Slyh, Dark Knight Guide coming out in 3.0. Already recommends you buy Piety Materia. Got it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, they have their own weapon skills to restore MP. It's just they can't get it from out. I mean, you could just turn this off and Ballad would work. Just can't get it while it's on.
That makes no sense.
Sure it does. Come on, Slyh. So, okay, so here, how about this? When you switch to Grit stance, which is their, like, Shield Oath or Defiance kind of stance, it will make their attacks generate more enmity, and you'll be able to get MP back while you're in Grit. So just Ballad then. Stop being so greedy with the dark side stance.
God, I want to have my cake and eat it, too.
And so does your fat chocobo.
Really? Are we making fat jokes?
Every time you say cake, I'm going to talk about the fat chocobos.
To. Yeah, I just want my cake. I want to have my cake and eat it too. Why can't? Okay, Wait.
He never gives Bandit any cake.
Time. What's to say this doesn't get nerfed in future patches, and that we will be able to catch Ballad during Dark Side? What's to say?
Why would they do that? It's got to be better than Sword Oath. Like, the only thing that would make me lean on that is that if it was only as good as Sword Oath, it'd be pretty stupid. Unless Dark Knight's natural damage is already higher than a Paladin's, which it probably is. To be fair, it's probably a little bit higher ceiling. Yeah. I would trust that a big-ass sword would be able to do more damage than a sword and a shield. Just bring X-Ethers. Come on, man. Who needs strength potions? Just bring X-Ethers. I'm sure it'll be more sustained damage over the course of the whole fight than the X-Pods.
A man can only wish and dream.
Well, I'm sure you're going to love this next ability, though, Living Dead.
Oh, yeah, this one.
This one's pretty interesting.
The zombie ability. Oh.
The zombie ability.
Ooh, yes.
So, this is an attack that stays active for 20 seconds, and if you die while it's on, you enter a zombie state for 10 seconds where you're still alive, but if you aren't healed to full before the zombie effect wears off, you die. If you are healed to full, you survive.
So, pretty much, what is it? The Doom from Wanderers? Not Wanderers.
Sly, are you making anime references?
No, Omnipore. Yeah, it was a Doom.
Oh, okay.
It's basically Doom from Omnipore, right?
No, I think it was Wanderers.
Yeah. Okay, so it was Wanderers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's just Doom.
Yeah, it's the same as the Doom effect. It's just that it's a second chance. It's a second chance at life. Sounds like purgatory.
It does sound like purgatory, but it's a good idea. I like this. I actually was a fan of this idea. I can't. Most jobs, aka a certain DPS, everyone makes fun of. Get this.
You want Dragoon to have Living Dead? You do understand if Dragoon got that ability, it would just make the jokes even worse?
No, it wouldn't.
How would it not make it worse? Then the Dragoons are dying on purpose so they can finish their combos. Now it's not has to do with that. It doesn't have to do with jump anymore. Now you're just giving it to them just so it's like, oh, well, at least you got a second chance.
Yeah. I'll take it.
That's not going to help the whole LOL Dragoon thing, man. That's not going to... It's just not going to help. It's going to make it worse, man. You're not convinced.
Thanks, get all the good shit. Just keep going.
Just keep going. God. We have so many more jobs to talk about.
Yes.
So. Well, Dragoon's the next one, thankfully.
Thankfully.
And guess what? They're not getting Living Dead.
Thankfully?
No, I said thankfully. I thought
you said tankfully.
Thank you for the pun, but that wasn't me. I said thankfully.
Okay. Now he's gonna say it. So go ahead. Get out your system.
No, I'm gonna save it for when you least expect it.
Okay. That's fine.
Alright. So Dragoon was the next one, and they didn't really talk about the Dragoon a lot because the only thing they had to say about Dragoon was so badass they didn't have to say anything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're getting a new ability called Blood of the Dragon, which will add a 4th tier combo after your full thrust and your chaos thrust.
So we're life surging right before that, basically.
Yeah, so you'll probably save life surge and other global cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine at least that's what you would do with it.
Yeah, and I already put that in my head. Like, so we're putting that life surge off for one more skill. That's fine.
All right, sounds perfect to me. Yeah, I got all the global cooldowns in the world to work with.
Pretty much.
Although, okay, yeah, because then you'll refresh heavy thrust. Because heavy thrust has 2 seconds left usually by the time you get to it, depending on your skill speed. So this will happen during heavy thrust.
Yeah, but you forget we're retooling our skill speed now.
Well, okay, we're going to talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
Because we finally started finding out how skill speed and spell speed are going to start to affect things. We didn't find that out exactly, but we found out how they're going to get to affect dots. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
So on top of that, you could actually remove Blood of the Dragon to perform a giant laser beam out of your spear, apparently.
Who doesn't want that?
I want that. And it seems that they want Dragoon to really be the premier DPS, because this was the only job where instead of...
Really?
Well, because here's the thing. I've always wanted Dragoon to be the premier DPS, to be ahead of everything else, but with the least amount of utility. That's always been my dream for Dragoon. And they are up there.
And this is recorded, right? I just want to make sure this is recorded.
I've always wanted that to be their role, because they have very little utility outside of the Bard buff. Right?
You wanted this.
I wanted this.
Really?
I've been saying that for ages. I wanted this. And honestly, that's already started to come to fruition with the most recent Dragoon buffs. Mm-hmm. They're very, very competitive in terms of DPS now. Monk has Dragon Kick, great, but Dragoon, man.
Competitive. Okay. Second only to Black Mage.
Oh, come on. Listen, just because you can flare 8 targets doesn't make you it just makes you better against 8 targets.
Consistently, Black Mage beats out everyone on the DPS start. Bullshit. Who's going to beat them out?
No, no one on AoEs. Everyone on a friggin' Final Coil fight. Except for maybe the Bard who had to sing Paon. Except for that guy. The Bard that doesn't have to sing Paon will still do really well, though.
Right. Listen, I've only beat out a monk once. That was good for my confidence. Otherwise, I came second to a freaking Black Mage.
Listen, just because Slyh, they're cheating. They're flaring. They're flaring 5 targets, and it's cheating, man. It's like, no, they're not cheating. They're better. Anyway,
thank you.
No, they're really not. On a single target, Dragoon should be on the top, man. On a single target, come on, man. Come on, man.
No, and Ninja should be on top.
Ninja and Dragoon are in a pretty consistent place.
Ninja, Monk, then Dragoon.
Nah, man. Monk's just a Dragon Kick bot now. It's all about that Dragoon Ninja height.
Okay.
But Ninja, apparently everyone who plays the game outside of Japan's got like 8,000 lag, so no. Apparently, without battle ping, you can't be competitive on Ninja. So anyway, they're also reducing your animation locks for jumps, so you don't need Living Dead.
And see, this is the other thing that appealed to me, but by how much? Like, am I going to?
It's got to be milliseconds at this point.
Yeah, it couldn't be tremendously to the point where I can move during like a Spine Shatter or a freaking Dragonfire. Like, that's wishful thinking. But I want to know how much the animation lock is kind of removed.
There's a GIF in the chat.
Yeah, I saw it.
I didn't. Now I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me taking off my shades.
You gotta sing the song.
No, I'm not singing. Yeah. Nope.
You gotta do it.
So Bard is next.
Post show.
So Bard is next.
Post show.
So Bard is next.
Okay. Post show.
So Bard is actually one that a lot of people are getting pretty upset about.
Oh yeah.
It's been a hot topic. Yeah. So Bard got a new song. Everybody was waiting for Bards to get new songs, right?
No.
Everyone wanted more songs.
So Minuet has been a joke all week. Like, why are people? Like, I want to feel good about Bard because I'm leveling Bard, but Minuet has been such a joke all week, and I hate it.
How has it been a joke, Slyh? Tell us how it's been a joke. No. You don't just get to laugh at all, Slyh. You're going to tell us.
I don't want to. Just go ahead. They're like, it's just go
post
ahead.
Show.
Please. Yeah, post show.
Okay, damn it. I was hoping he wouldn't want to do it post show. That way I could feel okay about myself. So anyway, Wanderer's Minuet's a new Bard song. And this song, let's talk about all the things it does bad for you first. Because it debilitates you by a lot to increase your damage. That's what it does. It increases the damage of your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
In reply to that damage increase, you can no longer auto attack.
Mm-hmm.
All of your abilities are given cast times.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take any MP away, and you can actually sing another song while singing Wanderer's Minuet. But it essentially turns you into a turret to do more damage.
Yeah, that was the joke.
That it was a turret?
Yeah.
How is that so funny?
So basically, machinists are putting down bards.
Machinists are putting down bard turrets. The machinist is just gonna throw down, and then a bard is just gonna appear. It's like, where did you come from? You summoned a turret, right? I'm here. I don't think that's exactly how it works, Slyh, but
in hindsight, it just seemed funny. Like, really, the way it was told. I'm sorry. It was just so funny to think about it.
I'm looking at you awkwardly right now, Slyh.
Don't do it.
I already did it. What are you gonna tell? I can't go back in time.
Oh.
I guess I'm gonna have to try just for you. Yeah. So a lot of people are kind of upset because they're afraid that basically Bard's mobility just got shot in the foot.
They did. They're a turret.
So at this point, there's one of two ways this plays out. Either the new strategy is you're going to be in Wanderer's Minuet 24/7, and your goal is to minimize movement, or you're still going to stay as mobile as you always were and only use this when you have a chance. Those are the two outcomes that this ability could possibly add to the Bard.
And more than likely, it's going to be the former.
I don't know, because it's pretty rough. I know Bards like to move around a little bit too liberally, which is why it might be the former.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like the Bard mobility is gone. If you need it, it's always there for you. You just don't run around like a chicken without a head now. When you're not doing anything like lee.
Okay, but think about when the expansion first comes out, and people, people like their numbers. You're gonna have a lot of stationary bards. I foresee that you're gonna have a lot of stationary bards, just to kind of see what their numbers could get up to if they just don't move.
Sly, while you were saying that, I made a pun by accident, apparently.
What happened?
I said their mobility got shot in the foot. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't even think about that until somebody in the chat said it.
You said it, too.
I know, right? Like, I would have never thought twice about that. That wasn't on purpose. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sly.
Yes, we know. We know everybody loves numbers.
That's why people like Black Mage, because those numbers are big.
I said Black Mage is pretty much shit. Like the top.
Oh, calm down, Sly.
Hey.
Calm down.
Oh.
On AoEs, I'll give that to you.
Okay.
All right. Well, I like this. I like the new song. Makes me want to play Bard again.
So you want to be a stationary Bard?
I want to be a not lead Bard. Sly, we're both crossing our arms right now. You didn't know it, but I was crossing my arms before you crossed your arms, and now we're both crossing our arms.
That's fine.
That's
I'm
fine.
looking at you funny.
I'm looking at you funny.
Okay, Lilo.
Is that from SpongeBob?
Is it?
I don't know. I think
I don't
it
know.
is. I don't know. All right.
You said it, not me.
I don't know where I got it from. But anyway, they revealed one other ability they're getting. It's an ability called Sidewinder, and it increases the quote-unquote effect of your dots already applied to enemies. I don't know if this is contagion for Bard dots, or if it makes the dots stronger, because they just said increases the effect.
I thought of contagion.
So did I, because we've never had... this goes against the way dots work in this game, which is it snapshots all your buffs, and then plays them out. There's always the possibility they could program it so that it just adds potency for the remainder, which means you would use it right after your venomous bite.
Yep.
Or it could just mean, hey, now I get to spam, because I needed all that extra time to heavy shot more, right? Like I needed all that extra time.
Spam that heavy shot though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess with Wanderer's Minuet, it might be a little bit more useful in terms of ensuring that you have a bit more mobility your dots are still taking while you're moving, because Bards don't have the option to turn Wanderer's Minuet off anymore, so they totally couldn't do those dots while moving,
Right.
Just it could never happen from now on.
No.
Apparently. I like it. I don't know, I might dabble with the new Bard. I'm a fan.
It kind of turned me off of Bard.
Too bad you're leveling it.
I know.
Too bad. I'm telling you got to finish it.
I will.
Good.
But I'll finish my Black Mage first, and maybe work on Astrologian before I work on my Bard.
Speaking about jobs, I was just thinking, I was looking in the chat, and I forgot to mention that tanks had another change.
Which tank?
All of them. The Shield Oath, Grit, and Defiance now have an accuracy buff built into them, so tanks don't need to stack as much accuracy as they used to. Makes me wonder why we even have accuracy caps in the game, if they're just going to implement passive abilities to bypass those needs. Why not just give tanks the same accuracy cap as the flank, or why even have accuracy?
Nerfs or previous coils?
It doesn't make sense to me from a design standpoint that if you're going to raise the accuracy cap for a tank because enemies in the front require more accuracy, and then give them built-in accuracy to make up the difference, what's the point in having the accuracy in the first place?
Again, you got to realize we don't have the accuracy numbers for Alexander yet, so we can go ahead and talk about this all we want to. And you can say it makes no sense, but we don't have Alexander numbers yet.
Okay, somebody in the chat actually had a pretty good way of looking at it. You'll have the accuracy while you're in tank stance. You won't if you're not. So to make it so you have to tank in these stances, or you could just get the accuracy you need and say, you know, I'll tank an offensive stance all I want because I'll do more damage. I'll get more overall damage from 20 accuracy on my gear and being an attacker stance the whole time than turning on my defensive stance and having 20 more determination.
But you won't hold that much hate.
I'll hold all the hate. Listen, our tank tanks in Sword all the time. He does a fine job.
I want to see that. I would love to see that.
He does a fine job.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Does anybody else tank for him? Do you?
Does what?
Do you have the tank for him sometimes? When he loses?
No, I only tank World of Darkness, dude, on Ninja.
No, I'm saying what this tank you're talking about. Do you have the switch with him sometimes, and once he loses hate? Or
no, he never loses hate. Okay. He does what he wants.
Okay. All right.
He's a strong, independent paladin, and he does what he wants.
That's the word you just had to say. Just go on.
Yep. All right.
Go on.
So next we have the ninja, and this is really my territory. You had Dragoon territory.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
I didn't expect many changes out of Ninja. We just got Ninja 7 months ago.
Yep.
And it seems like they're following in that mode. Ninjas aren't really getting anything too thrilling, or at least not of the abilities they've teased so far. We get a combo ability that extends the duration of Huton. Fantastic. I can use Fuma Shuriken or Raiton a little bit more often. Okay. They added positioning to several weapon skills, so now I have to dance around the target a little bit more. Probably as often as a Dragoon, but not as often as a Monk. Which I'm okay with, because I really like Dragoon's feel when you get it on that side. That extra bonus you get actually feels real good. So I'm actually a fan of this. A lot of people have been very upset that you can't just stand behind the boss and trick attack once a minute for all your positionals.
Now you know how we feel.
I like Dragoon. I like the way it works out for them, because you guys get nice little damage boosts whenever you do it correctly.
Yeah.
Monk does too. Monk just has to move every half a second. So
pretty much. That's why.
And you know this, Slyh. Monk is actually my favorite job, despite the fact I never get to play it.
I already hate the positional. I already hate positionals, period. But it feels good to get the bonuses off the positionals.
Exactly.
But positionals get you killed. According to a static mate, positionals do get you killed.
No, Dragoons get you killed. You're the okay. You can't give me any looks because
nothing.
No. You don't get to give me any looks.
Really?
Slyh, you're the one who asked for. You're the one who asked for Living Dead earlier as a Dragoon ability.
That's fine.
You asked for a. You asked for a second life.
It's the majority who come up with the damn jokes. I'm just saying, y'all come up with those damn Lagoon jokes and everything. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we need it? Why wouldn't we? Based on the stigma that we have already.
Slyh, you asked for Dragoons to get a second life earlier. That's all I'm saying. Literally a second life. You asked them. You asked Dragoons to get a green mushroom.
Bullshit. Our LB was a re-raise. Before we even saw our LB was a re-raise. That was our LB. I even said it.
And now I'm saying it too. Dead Dragoon. You're getting shorter jumps. It's okay. And another attack we're getting is we can adjust the enmity of a party member, aka reduce it. You can either reduce your own enmity or reduce an enemy or reduce an ally's enmity. So man, World of Darkness just got way funnier. So
when the expansion comes out, y'all are pretty much going to be ripping a lot of hate, and it's going to be so funny to see.
No, we're not going to be ripping hate. We're going to be denying hate from the tank. We're going to be like, all right, no, tank, I'll pull the boss. I'll just get my trick attack combo ready. And this button right here. He's dead. He's dead. The ultimate tank trolling skill for 24-man raids. Brought to you by Square Enix. It's alright. Here's the thing, Slyh, I'll save you, okay? I'll save your Dragoon with this ability, because that way you don't got to backflip away in order to reduce your enmity anymore.
I don't use elusive jump to begin with anyway.
Did you have a bad experience on Titan with it once?
Yes.
Okay. I had to make sure because I had a feeling.
That's pretty much the majority of bad experiences with elusive jump is just Titan. And you just jumping off for no damn reason.
It's funny, though, because when you do that, you don't fall gradually. You just hit the floor and completely bypass the falling animation.
Yep. You just teleport from top to bottom and you're out.
You're out. Okay, next ability is... next job, I should say, is Monk. And this was really cool to find out a little bit more about. Because Monk has one major weakness at this point. Where bosses will jump... and you'll lose your Grease Lightning stacks, and if you don't have perfect balance, you got to start from scratch to do it over. Monks are now getting an ability that expends all their Grease Lightning stacks to do damage, and does a lot of damage, apparently. I think we read earlier today it's like 500 potency, or something like that, for the 3 stacks of Grease Lightning.
Yep.
That's a lot of extra damage to do. I think, what's the highest Monk potency? Like, 190, I think, is for their standard abilities. I feel like Howling Punch or Steel Peak does more than that, though. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's, like, almost triple how much all their other abilities hit for. That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of damage. Man, you Dragoons better watch out, man.
I already told you we compete with monks to begin with.
No,
They're our competition.
Yeah, we'll see after this. I want to see what your 4th combo tier does
compared
to Tornado Kick.
And where this puts my numbers against monks.
Yeah. And then they also have a new system called Chakra. Where apparently every time you cast Chakra, you have to cast Chakra repeatedly in order to build stacks of it. It's not like generated from your other combos, or at least that's how I've been understanding it based on the other translations. So it'd be like another ability you'd weave to build stacks, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't have any feelings about that?
No, not really.
No.
I'm like, when I watched Monk, there was really one ability, and you're gonna get to it in a few seconds, but there was only really one ability that stuck out in my mind, and like, still, to this day, I'm kind of intimidated playing Monk. Like, just keeping 3 stacks up at all times, it just doesn't appeal to me.
I mean, I got to keep Heavy Thrust up all the time. I mean, before the most recent buffs, that could be a headache.
That's one thing. But we go through the rotation, maybe 10 seconds, and then just put it. Well, no, what is it? 20 seconds.
But I mean, back in the day, if a boss turned or if anything bad happened, Heavy Thrust, you had to keep going for the flank to try and get Heavy Thrust up. That used to be.
I do that now.
But at least no matter which side you're on, now it applies.
No, you only get the bonus from the flank.
But okay, you only get the bonus damage from the flank. But you used to not even get the buff if you weren't on the flank. At least now you get the buff. I used to just see Dragoons. There would be enemies just spinning over, and a Dragoon just like, give me the Heavy Thrust buff. Stop turning the boss.
How is that Dragoon?
Please stop hurting. It hurts my damage. I hope you didn't sound like that while you were. Okay.
No, we didn't. No.
Okay, good. I need to turn a light on next time I switch to your camera. I just need next time you talk for a long period of time, because at this point I'm blending in with it's like complete. It's pitch black in here.
Yeah. It's getting dark here too.
Okay. So with these chakra stacks anyway, you'll either be able to expend them on a high damage weapon skill, or you can use them to restore TP. So that means that you Dragoons get my goad now, and monks don't, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
See? It's a buff to Dragoons. I swear, it's totally a buff to Dragoons.
Hey.
They'll also get an ability that lets them freely change their form, which is a pretty big thing. You know, if they're... we don't know what the exact stipulations on it are, but like, I don't know, I'm in Coral Stance. Let me use this ability and be in Coral Stance again. And then I can get another stack of Grease Lightning. So they're going to be getting quite a lot of things when it comes to Monk. The new idea is basically, Grease Lightning stacks, expend them all, get them back as soon as the boss comes back down. They have no weaknesses anymore. So watch out, Dragoons. Watch out. 500 potency attack, and no Grease Lightning downtime, and Dragon Kick. Watch out.
Plus Elixir Dive.
And 600 skill speed. I want to see a 600 skill speed monk right now. Next up on the list is our new job, Machinist. So, it says right here, puts a bard down next to as a turret. Okay, it says that. It totally says that in the notes.
Yep.
It says Machinist role is similar to bard. As in, here is my pet bard.
Here's my pet bard.
Now, apparently, while they're similar to bard in the sense that they're a ranged DPS, they play entirely different. They have a buff called ammunition, which lets them load special bullets into their gun and use them to get special effects on their abilities. They've got different barrels, which can trade off more bullets for increased damage, so it's like a burst damage effect. They have turrets they can place down, which can either do single target and AoE damage, or you can turn them into MP or TP field buffs, like Payon and Ballad, but placed in a static spot for people to stand.
I think that would be like when I read this, I thought it would be beneficial to melees who are, usually on flank or back, but I mean, I don't know how it would be beneficial in terms of MP to black mages who are constantly moving. Excuse me. Like this idea of TP regeneration, I think is better than Goad.
So the turrets now can't move. Mm-hmm. They shoot from a single spot. They sing MP and TP songs. Mm-hmm. Would you like me to say it again? That they're putting their own pocket bard down on the field. Okay, but they can't shoot. But these things can't shoot and sing at the same time. You have to choose which. I believe, based on the wording, you have to choose which one you want them to do.
And I'm fine with that.
Because that's how you treat your bards anyway. Just sing Payon. I don't care about your DPS. That's how all melee treat bards, all right? That's how warriors treat bards. Warrior be like, yo, listen, I'm doing 500 DPS right now. You're doing good over there. You can do more than that, but listen, I'm gonna need you to pay on right now because you're running out of TP. I'm running out of TP. He's running out of TP. We're all running out of TP. So
we're all running out of TP. So you pay on. Ninja, I'm getting greedy. Like I'm on Goad.
Listen, I can't Goad myself, so I need some pay on right now. But overall, it feels like they are going to play a lot different. Because we got to remember that unlike the other jobs in the game, like the old jobs, and we found out, oh, they're getting this new ability, there's a whole set of abilities from 1 to 60. Even though the job starts at 30, they have commented on level syncing below level 30 and what it will do, that the abilities are actually learned on a per level basis, so that if you sync down to something below 30, you are still limited in how many skills you have. So you wouldn't have the abilities of a level 30 at level 15 if you were syncing down to Sestasha. You would have the abilities of a 15, even though your job started at level 30.
So will the ability amounts kind of equivalent, like will the ability amounts kind of set to equilibrium at that quick sync, or well, not really quick sync, I'm just thinking
the level sync. Yeah, so basically, like, I think the average job has 7 or 8 abilities at that point. Machinist would have 7 or 8 abilities at that point with the level sync down, and so that goes for all the new jobs as well. It's really weird to have a job that starts at a level and then sync it below that level. It's a very strange thing to have, but I mean, we have to remember, we are literally seeing we're seeing as much of the new jobs as we're seeing of the old jobs, but the new jobs have way more to them. So we're really seeing almost nothing of the new jobs yet. Yeah. Except for Astrologian, which we'll get to, because we have a ton of stuff to talk about with Astrologian.
Woo, heart of the cards, bitch. I had to say it.
Heart of the cards, bitch. Man, I watched all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX as a kid. I don't remember that ever being the way that they said it.
Oh, God.
Was that only in the Japanese dub?
Probably.
Heart of the cards, bitch.
Yeah.
Is this the Jesse school of Yu-Gi-Oh?
Pretty much.
Heart of the cards, bitch.
Bitch.
I had to make a. I was almost at the Walter White school, and then I realized that was the wrong character. It's the Breaking Bad school. The Breaking Bad school of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Heart of the cards, bitch. That's gonna be a new thing for you, just so you know.
No, it ain't. It's copyrighted. VG Hero. Thank you so much for that.
There you go.
VG Hero.
It was in the abridged version. Okay. See, I didn't watch the abridged version. I'm not a big fan of abridged anyway. Anyway, moving on. Machinist. It looks like it's going to be cool, but the Summoner is the next on our controversial list of ability changes. Sly, you're smiling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because summoners are Bahamut.
Summoners are Bahamut.
Yeah.
Bahamut are summoners. You are winner.
You are winner.
You are winner. Summoner, you're winner. You're winner. So anyway, summoners are going to be getting a new ability. It's called Try Disaster. I love leading with that. Because it's true. Their new ability is one of their new abilities is called Try Disaster. And the old Try Disaster, what is the old Try Disaster now called, Sly? Why don't you tell us?
Tribind.
Tribind. So that's the worst name ever, right?
Why?
So Sly, what do you yell at the summoner if as a Dragoon one of the ads is chasing you? Say it.
I don't.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
No. Okay, you say it, damn it.
Sly, I set you up for the joke.
No.
Sly, say it.
No.
All right,
No.
fine.
You say it.
Tribind. There we go. I had to say it. I had to. It was a listen. It's a pun, okay? And yes, I had to use that pun to go turn on a light. You weren't working with me, Sly. I just needed you to say it just so I could turn on a light. That's all I did it for.
Yeah, Happy's in the Batcave right now. If you didn't know.
I'm Batman. No, I'm not going Dark Knight, dude.
Yeah, you are.
What you talking about? Anyway, so Try Disaster is their first new ability, and it basically just puts Bio 2 and Miasma on a target for the cost of 1 Ether Flow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Too bad it didn't do that a year and a half ago, but nice. Better late than never, I suppose. They also got a new thing called Dreadworm Trance, where they are infused with the power of Bahamut, and while in that form, they generate Bahamut Ethers, and they can expend them on, at least we know 2 abilities so far. One is called Death Flare, and one is called Pain Flare. Death Flare is one that looks like Akmorn, which is the ability from turn 13, and Pain Flare is a different ability. Don't know what it looks like. Probably one of the abilities they showed in the video.
Now, how many stacks of ether do we have to really have to like go ham like Bahamut and just do like 5 Akmorns?
Okay.
Or,
I don't think
like I want to see that happen. I just need to know how many stacks of ether we really need to have to do that.
See, okay, so apparently Death Flare, which is Akmorn, is 3 Bahamut Ethers. And I think it stacks up to 3.
Damn it. See, it's not fun.
You're not fun.
You're not fun, damn it.
Whoa, got me there.
Like, I want to just go ham like Bahamut and just keep going like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
But what about new Eggies, Sly? What new Eggies are we getting?
No.
What new Eggies, Sly? Why don't you tell us what new Eggies we're getting?
We ain't getting shit.
We ain't getting shit.
We ain't getting shit.
There are no new
Sorry.
Eggies.
Sorry.
None. What are you apologizing for, Sly? You're not the one who made this, or are you? Did you call up Yoshi P like, you better not make any more Eggies?
Nope.
But you my boy, Blue. Anyway. And Yoshi P said it back. He's like, you my boy, Blue, too, man. You my boy. No Eggies, I promise, man.
No Eggies.
Yeah, no new Eggies. They're just gonna, quote-unquote, fix the ones we have, which I guess is okay. Which is, you know, it sounds almost unnecessary because...
But is it really okay? I know there are, like, a lot of summoners out there. Y'all were expecting a new Eggie. Just one.
At least
Some were
one.
expecting a few, but at least one. How pissed are y'all?
We're fine. Yeah, see, they're fine. Didn't you hear them? Did you hear them off in the distance saying they're fine?
No, I heard you say, they're fine. They're fine.
No, man, I'm like Jeff Dunham. That's not me. That's the puppet.
What puppet is that? Is that your Garuda Eggie?
It's funny. In a thumbnail I made for a video, in tiny words right above Garuda, it says, "Hi, I'm part of your job, remember?" Here's the thing. The way it is now, Ifrit does better than Garuda on some fights. Like, there is actually a situational use for both of them. Ifrit, I mean, Titan's the one that really, other than his short stint with Ramu Extreme, is the one who just sees use in kind of solo content, and that's it. But I mean, they both seem to have their points.
That's true.
I don't know what else they're gonna do to the pets.
I've seen a Titan freaking solo tank a story mode Garuda. I'm just saying it's story mode, but
listen, the Titan was probably better off than an actual player doing it because that bitch hits hard. That's the hardest version of Garuda. Garuda story. Here's the thing about Garuda: the difficulty is story mode, extreme, hard mode, in terms of hardest to easiest. I don't see what the point. I mean, the only ability I really see them changing is either A, Contagion, or B, the stupid shield that Ifrit has for no damn reason. I don't understand Radiant Shield. Like, great. Nobody solos with Ifrit anyways. People solo with friggin' Titan. So what the hell's the point of this? Maybe they'll be able to put it on the main tank, and the main tank will reflect damage back, and all of a sudden summoners will be amazeballs at everything.
You alright?
I had to use one of your terms there.
You sound kind of salty about this. Are you okay?
I've always wanted Summoner to be kind of appreciated a little bit more, and since they got Thunder taken away from them back in the day, when they had Thunder, they were kings. After that, they were still good. Everything about them was good, and then Final Coil happened, and until they lowered the MP level, Summoner, everyone just went on a hate train for them. Bring back Thunder. Bring back Thunder. Guys, I want to start the movement. Bring back Thunder.
Are you going to petition the Square Enix?
Nope. 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 No chance.
You should.
Nope. The only thing I'll petition for is my damn towel. I earned that towel, I swear. God. Sly. Why are you teasing me with the towel? Why are you teasing me with the towel?
Because I stood in line for it.
I should have won that damn Chocobo race. So close to 5th place.
You know what? I came in 3rd. You were like, what? Oh, like
I was overall 6th. I was one place away from winning a towel.
In your individual race, what'd you place in?
5th also. For a good.
I fucking placed 3rd, and I still didn't rank at all.
Because mine had Pro Jared. The race I was in had 4 of the winners. And then one person from another race beat me. I should have bought the damn towel. Should have just bought the damn towel.
Stayed in line.
Anyway, White Mage is next.
Yes.
Sorry, Summoners, no new Eggies.
Yeah.
And no towels for you either. Get a towel cloak for your AF2. There we go. So moving on to the White Mages. White Mages was one of the 3 healers. I was honestly most impressed by what I saw of White Mage until like maybe 2 hours ago with Astrologian. So they're a pure healer, they're described as here. And so they gave him a few new abilities. They gave him an ability called Asylum, which puts down a healing field, where if you step in it, you get healed. They also introduced a single target healing ability with a lower effect, like Benediction. So it's like Benediction with less HP. They also had an ability that allows them to attack and heal at the same time called Assize, which is something I've wanted. It makes it sound like when you cast Stone 3, it'll like drip heals around the enemy. I don't know if that's exactly how it works. But ability to that was one of my major concerns. Like, you remember when we had this conversation about Scholar versus White Mage and which one would fall off the face of the earth? This was my only concern about White Mages, is that I saw them falling off because they couldn't do that. If they could do that now, then the healers are all even well, mostly even at the very least.
And isn't that what I said, that Yoshi P was trying to make like balance?
The common word that people are saying is they're homogenizing the jobs, because now they can all fill the roles that the other ones, like Scholar and White Mage, very clearly different.
This
before.
was Yoshi P's ideal world. I called it. Just saying. Just saying.
He did call it. Sly got one. He got to call it. He called it. Sly got one. They also have Stone 3 and Arrow 3, which amongst healers, I think that's like the only... Scholar didn't get any new DPS abilities, did they? Yeah, White Mage got Stone 3 and Arrow 3, which is pretty cool. They also got a ranged dot spell. I guess that's what goes with Assize, so they have more up-to-date damage abilities to heal with. They do enough damage for the healing that comes with it to be meaningful.
Right.
And then they also got... they also changed Protect. Protect, that magic defense buff. Every healer has it now. Homogenization.
And what we were going for.
That was another thing I was concerned about. Like, oh, what, you're going to lose the magic defense buffer and protect? And no, you won't, because all of them are going to have it. Sly's just looking at me like, man.
Like, I was right, and you're not happy about this? Like, you're not happy about...
Okay, it's more specifically, I don't necessarily want homogenization of jobs.
Why?
Because I don't want all the jobs to feel like they're playing the same and they can do the same things. I like the thought of bringing different jobs to different fights.
It's not that the jobs are playing the same.
They all have the same ability.
They have this.
The only thing that White Mage didn't get was Eloquium, pretty much. It's the only thing they didn't get.
But it's where that you don't feel like you need to put one job over the other in a specific situation, and that's what he was going for. That's what we have now.
Hello, Dragoon. I would like to introduce you to Dragon Kick. I would like to introduce you to the one ability that makes people dislike you for 5 weeks and then love you for 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I guess you're right. Dragon Kick's not situational. You just use it on every fight and just don't bring a Dragoon, right?
So now we're chopped liver?
Nah, you'll be all right. Your Dragons will be okay.
Yeah.
I believe. It's not called Dragon Kick, it's Dragoon Kick, because you just kicked you out of the static because they wanted a monk.
Stop! I had to laugh at that one, and that was just terrible.
That credit goes to C. Michael81 in the chat, because he inspired it.
That was terrible, but it was funny. Okay, I'll have to give you that one. Good job, whoever you are.
Good.
Oh, God.
Whoever you are. That's a good one. Damn.
Just keep going.
Double. Just keep going. All right. So moving on to Scholar. Scholar, they gave Scholar a bunch of White Mage abilities. They gave them an AoE healing action because, let's be honest, Scholars other than Rouse, Whispering Dawn pretty much don't have good AoE heals. Although the Fairy was pretty much just would single target everyone during AoEs and it would basically count as AoE healing. Now they have a new ability that's an instant AoE heal, or it seems like or it's just an AoE heal of some sorts that they have. Okay, this is where Scholar I was kind of confused. So they have two new abilities called Deployment Tactics and Emergency Tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Deployment Tactics extends the effect of Eloquium and Eye for an Eye on the target you select it to nearby party members. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Eye for an Eye only trigger if an enemy is hitting you?
Yep.
Why the hell would I want to share that with 8 people? What? Unless there's bosses where there's 8 targets hitting 8 different people and you wish you could Eye for an Eye them all.
Ta-da! Alexander.
Thank you, Alexander. We figured out your new mechanics. You've already been beat.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like they're kind of prepping us for the mechanics of the new fights in Heavensward.
But Sly, I thought we didn't want to have a fight. I don't have an ability that was specifically better for a fight. That ability sure seems like it's very good for a specific mechanic.
I don't think it's for a specific mechanic, for future mechanics. Like, this will be ongoing. Not just saying it's going to be a one-time thing. It's going to be ongoing.
All right. I'll let that one slide, Sly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, the Eloquium sharing is amazing because who cares about Sucker anymore, right?
Pretty much.
Just Deployment Tactics, Eloquium, and it's like, wow, all of a sudden everyone has a 6k shield.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need LB3 for turn 13 anymore. We're good. Pretty much.
Maybe.
And then Emergency Tactics is another weird one. Instead of applying a barrier for Eloquium, it takes the strength of the barrier and makes it a direct heal. So if you crit for 3,000 on Eloquium, and that would be a 6,000 point shield, it would change Eloquium to a 9,000 point heal. Now, I know where this would be useful. I can think of a situation where, oh, I wish I could have healed them more instead of using Eloquium.
Mm-hmm. What situation would that be, Happy?
Someone's at 1,000 health and a shield's not going to save them, but having 9,000 HP would. But to me, it's still like, I don't know. I'd rather take the 6,000 point heal. I'd rather take the 6,000. I don't know. I get it. I know where it's going to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think I'd be okay with legit just Eloquium.
Why not have that oh shit button, though?
I do. It's called Lustrate.
I like this oh shit button better.
You know what my oh shit button is?
What?
Fairy, embrace, go. It's an emergency. Like the chat's like, it's an emergency. They're low on health and you got to save their ass.
And speaking of fairies, what's this about us, eating a fairy for MP?
Before we get to that, I would like to say that somebody's pointed out that this would be good for the Dark Knight Living Dead. To get them back to full health to save them.
Dragoon Living Dead?
No, not Dragoon. Sly, if you keep making this joke, I'm going to keep making fun of Dragoons. I hope you understand that.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, you should be. And then, the ability that you're talking about is called Dissipation. You dismiss your fairy in exchange for magic power.
Dismiss.
Kill. Suicide.
Thank you.
Murder.
Like, don't try to paint it out like it's not like killing your fairy.
Nom nom.
Yeah, you're
Eat your
eating your fairy.
Your cookie monster. You just said you're like the cookie monster. Or the veggie monster, my bad. Okay. This is kind of like a strange ability to have. Because magic power is magic power, not MP, not mana points. So it's making your healing potency go up, and it's, assuming it's all magic power, would make your attack magic potency go up as well. Just as magic power. I'm assuming that's healing and attack potencies. I guess scholars have so much bonus MP, who gives a shit? Just resummon it? Like, they never run out of MP anyway. Like, I guess. You cast Dragoon on your fairy. I'm proud of you, Pook.
Damn it, Pook!
God. Where's he going? Where's he going?
Oh, like, damn it. Now my freaking room is turning into the Batcave. Thank you, Happy.
You're welcome. Hey, you called it the Batcave. That was just, I had to clap for that joke, because that was the greatest. That was the greatest that joke could have been. Sly, you don't sound too happy with that joke.
I'm not.
Yeah, you're the listen, Mr. Living Dead for Dragoons.
What's wrong with Living Dead for Dragoons?
Because then I got to use emergency tactics on your ass just to make sure you don't die.
It's been done in freaking Wanderer's Palace. Sorry, I'm back.
That's not a Dragoon using it. Anyway.
It's been done. I'm just saying.
Anyway, Astrologian.
Yay, Astrologian, new shit. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
new shit. Yes,
Woo-hoo!
let's move on from the
Yeah.
jokes into things, into things,
And the things.
into things.
All right. So, Astrologian is the child of a white mage and a scholar, pretty much, because they have two forms: diurnal sect and nocturnal sect. Mm-hmm. Apparently, diurnal sect adds a regen or a heal over time effect to your spells, whereas nocturnal sect adds a shield to your spells. And you can play them both full time. It's not necessarily required that you be able to swap between them, like in the middle of a fight. I'm sure that will be an acquired skill that will be required. But Yoshi P himself even said master one and then do the other. So if he's telling you to master one form before taking on another, that's not like your cleric stance where, you're like, okay, some DPS back to healing. It's like, okay, I need to be able to, I can do the full job of a white mage or a scholar from either of these stances. The ability to swap between them both just makes me all that cooler. And you'll be able to get cleric stance on Astrologian 2s, according to what we found out today. So, you have all the stances in the forms. Also, there's gonna have one of their spells is actually the Yeshtola barrier. I don't know why. I'm actually holding my hands out as if I'm making a barrier right now. You can't see it, but they can see it.
I can see it. Give me a second.
Yeah, you're catching up on the stream right now.
I'm waiting on it.
I'm holding the pose for you right now. I'm holding the pose for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, give me a second.
I'll wait.
Thank you.
We're pausing the show right now.
Yeah, I don't care. This is epic.
I'm like Lee Sin, the blind monk. There we go. And now you can watch me do that for the next 45 seconds while I wait for you to catch up to it.
Yeah, thank you. That's precious.
Precious. Okay, anyway. So on top of that, they are going to have a bunch of other debuffs, you know, some single target heals, some AoE heals, you know, the standard stuff that all the healers got, you know what I'm saying? Don't know why I did that. Stop staring at me, do the friggin' thing, because I do it for 45 seconds. I can see it on your face that you're still watching.
I just have it as a little window right now, so you're good. I have everything else up.
Great. Thank you, Crayon, ahead of time. Thanks in advance, Crayon.
Yes.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Anyway, so the next thing that we get to talk about is their card drawing system. Now, the stream's been going on a little while longer, so I'm just going to integrate some of the things we learned a little bit later on into this discussion.
Now, do you have the actual
effects and notes and everything?
The picture of the cards.
The picture of the cards? I have an Imgur album ready here with like a ton of different things. I just have the effects listed over here.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a giant thing that we're going to show at the end of the show, a ton of screenshots. I believe this is Voisin's. It's got like 93 pictures from the media event. But anyway, so we learned a lot about the Astrologian cards over the course of, well, today. We learned basically what they all did today.
Yep.
So, there's 6 potential card draws. And you're able to use these cards on... What's going on in the chat? What's going on? Okay, never mind. There was a lot of face palming going on in the chat, so I had to go back up and read it.
Yep.
Wish I had.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks. Anyway, so they get a bunch of cards and are able to use these cards on allies to grant buffs. One card is 10% increased attack speed. One card is 10% increased damage. One card is 20% cost reduction on TP. One is a 20% reduction on MP costs.
You were.
What? Are you naming all the cards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One is 20% ability recast reduction.
Spear.
And one of them is, and I am going to correct this because people are debating over this like crazy right now, what they actually meant, but we know 10% reduced damage taken. The UK people that were there kept saying, yeah, no, that's what it says, that's what it does. But Yoshi P himself even said there is a damage reduction card, and there are no cards that will give you a demerit. So the mistranslation of increased damage taken, it has to be a mistranslation.
What if it isn't?
It's not, because Yoshi P himself said there's nothing that gives you a debuff.
There's
not going to be a macro that says you've activated my trap card.
That's what I was wanting. Or there's just fucking up your Mudras would give you a rabbit on your head, like nothing like that.
Yeah, exactly. So these effects can be granted to allies, and then you have a bunch of other Astrologian card abilities. You have Shuffle, which lets you just draw another card instantly, like, this card sucks. I need a different one. Spread, which lets you save a card indefinitely to use later. And Royal Road, which lets you throw away your current card, but the next card you draw has bonus effects. For the increased attack speed and damage, or the increased skill spell speed or increased damage, it buffs their potency by 5%. So instead of 10%, it's 15%. For the 20% TP and MP reduction costs, it increases the buff duration, how long you'll have those cost reductions. And for the ability recast and reduced, damage taken, it makes them AoE, but cuts their potency in half. So it would only be 10% ability recast reduction. No matter how you put it, those all sound like the greatest things that a job could ever have. So Astrologian, I'm sorry, bring in double Astrologian, forget everything else. They can just one of them in Diurnal, one of them in Nocturnal, forget Scholar. Forget Scholar, White Mage. We got everything we need. Just forget it. I don't care.
Just tell me how you really feel.
Just why bother? Why bother with White Mage? Why bother with Bard? Why bother with anything? Who needs Payon when I have 20% less TP costs? And what summoner needs Ballad anymore? Now I got 20%. Just bring 2 Astrologians. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Really?
Forget about it. I don't care if it's RNG. Forget about it.
I did say hard to cards, bitch.
Heart of the cards, bitch. There you go.
Yep.
I'm sure that's not how it's going to turn out, but
Yeah,
it feels that way reading those abilities.
It really feels
does.
that way reading it. Like it's Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't expect that to be where you went.
Yeah, it is.
Heart of the cards.
5Ds.
Oh God, no! Please, you don't need motorcycles, please. Oh man. So those are all 13 of the jobs we had to talk about. It only took us an hour and a half, and we are still not done with the show.
No.
So we found out the cross-class skills for the 3 new jobs as well. Dark Knight has Gladiator and Marauder actions. So if you're going to use a Dark Knight, go get all those right now. Machinist has Lancer and Archer. So they have Invigorate, Blood for Blood, Hawk's Eye, and Raging Strikes. That's a lot. But by the way, now I'm almost positive they're Dexterity because they get Hawk's Eye and Archer. Come on, they gotta be full Dexterity. Like, people have been like, oh, what if it's something else?
Nope,
what if it's something else? It's gotta be Dex. Come on, Yoshi P, don't make me look like an idiot again. Not after the whole ninja thing. Oh man, I'm scared now. I'm gonna eat my words. And Astrologian is Conjurer Thaumaturge. So they'll have Swift Cast, Sure Cast, Protect, which we should have known because they made those Protect changes. We should have known they were gonna get Conjurer. Cleric Stance, Stone Skin. Those will probably be the 5 they use. Sure Cast, Swift Cast, Stone Skin, Protect, and Cleric Stance. Probably, at the very least. Machinist main stat, Piety. Black Mage does have Hawk's Eye. Gets for that accuracy, though. Oh, man. But, yeah, there's just... We have so much more, like, little tidbits of information in here, too. Like, we added a lot of the really important things that came from out of today's embargo lift into there. But my goodness, there are still a ton of other things. Do you have the page up right now, Sly?
Yes, I do.
Oh my goodness. This is where we found out about Tornado Kick being like 500 potency, Elixir Drive as a new monk ability. But I think the next thing we should talk about, because I know that the show has a lot of European viewers, your data centers got mentioned. Finally. Did you know that somebody actually leaked in my chat last week that they spoke to somebody from the media tour and they said October? But I didn't want to reveal that till today. They said it in my chat, and I kind of just took it as a joke, but this kind of confirms it. That was my way of looking at it when it happened. Now I see it was like kind of like a leak. EU data centers, they are purchasing hardware now, deciding what servers are going to be on there, and then they should be active before the end of the year.
So, more allying with the French.
They were in France this last week, so that makes sense.
They did ally with the French.
Yeah.
Had a good-ass time over there. You see all that food? Yeah, they had a good-ass time over there.
Yeah, oh my God, I was so jelly. And that's not, they didn't have any jelly there, I don't think. I was jelly.
No.
They probably had Nutella, those fancy bitches.
Don't say that around Miz.
Don't say that around Miz. Don't say Nutella around Miz.
Yeah, don't say that. What?
What?
Hi, everyone. What?
What? Yo, hello? Nutella? Hello? Oh, man. Anyway, so if you're looking forward to those EU data centers, they should be here by the end of the year between October and November.
There you go.
Some other things that happened while they were there is the Charlayan Library. They got to face off against the Demon Book.
I'm hyped about that music for Charlayan Library.
Yo, that was some smooth jazz.
Do you want me to go ahead and say it? Because I think you know where I'm going to go with this.
Where are you going with this?
Didn't it sound a little Persona-like?
It did.
Thank you.
It did. I mean, any Japanese game with jazz is Persona. I mean, that's pretty much the rule, isn't it?
Yep.
That's the rule. Japanese, jazz, Persona. It's in that order. I was a big fan of the jazz. I'm glad I'm getting the soundtrack with the collector's edition now because I want to pump that jazz. Although it's probably Blu-ray, so GG no re. Then they talked about Owl Ra, Free Company Crafting, which they didn't even really get to look at too much. They got to, like, I think, step on one of the airships. They got to build. I think they got to play with the building of the airships a little bit. Disciples of Land in Hand, they weren't even allowed to touch. They were like, no, play the game, all right? Play the content we made for you. Crafting and gathering will come later. Which is interesting because along with some of this other information, we found out crafters and gatherers, other than leveling and gearing, might find themselves a little bored at the start of the expansion, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So, this next bit of information, a lot of this stuff that's compiled that we're using, I'd like to shoot some credit over to Orange Jedi Man. That's his name on Reddit. His name on Twitch is LoganAXB. It was a document that was circulating on Reddit with as much of the new information from today that we got. So thank you, man. Thank you for putting this stuff together. We're using it right now on the show. So the first thing that Logan lets us know is we found out one of the changes for skill speed and spell speed. They're not reworking dots. They're doing what I thought they were going to do. The higher your skill speed or spell speed, the more damage dots do. But they still tick at the same rate, and they still do the same amount of damage.
So I still need to reduce my damn skill speed.
So, well, now skill speed's a little bit more beneficial, and at the same time, your rotation timing, outside of needing to integrate the new abilities, at least you still know my debuff will be up X amount of seconds, so I can figure out what to do next.
That's fine, but
we still don't know about auto attacks, TP regeneration. We don't know about any of that.
Yeah, that's the thing that's killing me. I don't know about TP regeneration. I want, like, I'll be happy once I know
Just go monk.
about
You'll have
that.
chakra. You'll be okay.
I'm sorry, what?
Just go monk. You'll have chakra. Or I'll goad you. You'll be all right.
I better get a damn goad.
I believe in the goad. Or the machinist can throw his turret down for you.
There you go.
You know, that's a real interesting thing. The machinist turret is a fancy way of doing less damage because you can't damage, your turret can't damage and TP at the same time, but the machinist does the same damage the whole time. Does that mean the machinist damage is going to be garbage without the turrets, and then then they have the TP turret out? It's like, okay, well, yeah, less damage.
Yeah.
Great. Imagine the turret was 20% of their damage, and it was like the equivalent of Payon. That would be crazy. That's not going to happen. No way. No way.
It's not going to happen.
Nope.
what if it
Nope.
did, though?
Not happening.
What if it did?
Nope.
What if it did, though?
Nope.
No. Let's humor this for a second. What if it did?
Anyway, tanks.
Why humor it?
So, one of the new tank abilities off Riot Blade is a damage over time ability. That was another new detail we got out of this. So you're gonna have something to do other than 1, 2, 3 as a paladin now. Hopefully you're looking forward to that. I know that Slyh doesn't care.
No.
So okay, Dark Knight. There was a bunch of things
But
here
I do.
because
I love you, Paladins.
so we're gonna touch a little bit more on Dark Knight right now. Their LB3 got teased a little bit today. It's a series of slashes, but it is a defensive cooldown. It is a defensive limit break.
Which is what I thought it was going to be.
So they're going to rip the enemy a new anus, and the whole raid will take less damage. I don't know if that means it's going to reduce the boss's outgoing damage in a fancy way, as opposed to erecting a giant shield around everyone. Which would be a nice change of pace, but it's also weird that it's not a damaging ability with all those slashes.
True.
It's kind of strange. It's cool, but it's kind of strange. Thanks
Half
for the
damage.
information. Oh my god. Parts.
I'd be fine with like a half damage, half defensive, though. Like, not even half. I mean, at least have the tank do some damage. Get off some damage.
Oh man. That's funny. They have their...
No, don't joke with me, damn it.
I'm sorry.
No. Like, who doesn't want a DPS tank? I mean, we're getting that in a warrior to begin with.
We've had that in a warrior. Listen, paladins do alright damage. They do I can't say alright. They do damn good damage if you give them a chance. Give a paladin a chance, and they will make you go like, damn, that paladin did some damage.
What's the highest DPS you've ever seen a paladin do?
I've seen paladins do like 425, 450. Oh, listen, I'm sorry that's like 50 points under what I've seen a warrior do. I'm sorry, alright? Without echo, I'm talking about right now, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but still.
Alright. Sword Oath and Strength accessories? It's nice. Nice. They have a kick in the face for a stun. The Dark Knights. They literally kick enemies in the face. Or if the enemy's really tall, they kick them in the balls. Because they're not going to jump up to their face and kick them in the face. That would be kind of strange to see on, like, turn 13.
Sparta kick.
Sparta kick, exactly. Oh god, so many macros are gonna be boring. Oh god.
I can see it now.
This is Ishgard!
That's the exact thing that came into my head when I saw that.
Oh.
The macros are going to be ridiculous.
Another really interesting one the Dark Knight has, they can put a curse on an ally, and if that ally dies while the curse is on them, the Dark Knight gets healed. So, Dragoons and Dark Knights have great synergy together.
Don't go. Automatically, that's the first place you go. That's the first place you go.
Because, listen, if you hadn't said the Living Dead thing, this wouldn't be happening right now.
It's a good idea.
This is position. This is Coerthus Western Highlands 1114.
1114.
Pook was like, I'm waiting for that. Oh my god. Alright, then they have Soul Eater, which is an HP drain attack, which is pretty cool. Siphon Blade, which restores MP, and Power Slash, which generates enmity.
Okay, chat, don't make this a thing. They're not going to curse us from the start. Please don't make that a thing.
Listen, there's still LOL nins out there. I've died a couple times to assassinate with the animation lock. It's real. It's real. It can happen. Sometimes I'm just not looking. I'm like, oh shit.
But you're going to want this to happen more to Dragoons, though,
Oh, of course. Why would I want it to happen to me?
Okay, that's all we need to.
Why would I want that?
Move on. Move on.
Moving on. Monk, a few more details on their abilities. They have the 200 TP regenerate with Purify, consumes 5 stacks of chakra. Forbidden Chakra, which is a 400 potency attack. They have an ability, the freeform ability to move between forms. So keep that in mind. And then they have Elixir Drive, which is a Kamehameha attack that does AoE damage. And it can be casted while moving. So instant transmission Kamehameha attack.
No.
Shoulder tackle Kamehameha. Come on, that's instant transmission. It's actually a shoulder tackle, but to me it's instant transmission.
It's instant transmission.
Yeah, just for the sake of this joke. Just for the sake of making you give me that look.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see, what else did they talk about? Yeah, see, Fire 4, raw damage, 40% cheaper than Fire 3. Must be an Astral Fire to cast. Okay. Machinist, again, we already talked about this stuff. They have like a powerful slow attack that costs 1 ammo. They have an attack that does a lot of damage, costs 1 ammo. They said quick reload might even have TP regeneration, which would be interesting, which is the one that gives you 1 bullet. It's a question mark next to it, but that'd be cool if it did. Can upgrade guns with different barrels for different effects. Stay active until you turn them off, but things cost more TP. So it's like Wanderer's Minuet without turning you into a turret, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And then Wildfire, they have an attack where they charge up the attack and then shoot it. Pretty cool. Summoner, this is where we found... Spell speed will also affect pet damage for summoners. That's another new detail. Spell speed, it's already been confirmed that spell speed actually does have an effect on cast and recast time. Well, I think it's only recast times, but I know there's been some Reddit testing that shows that spell speed already had an effect on pets, but now it seems to have a more direct effect on pets. Spell speed just... You know what? It makes sense, though, if you think about it, because summoners have always had this spell speed buff built into their pet. It's now so useful. If you build crit as a summoner, your pet's going to have more crit, which means you can get more spell speed.
Great.
Yay, crit values just went up. I'm liking it. I am digging it. Healers, we already talked about. White Mage. Scholar, we didn't learn anything new. And Astrologian, we already kind of talked about. I mean, we could talk about some of the others, like a small AoE heal, a large AoE heal, they have tons of buffs. They have, if you haven't played WoW, but there's an ability called Beacon of Light, where you can place a beacon on somebody, and when you heal other people, that target gets heals. They have an ability that does that. So, like, you could put beacon on, like, the off tank and heal the main tank if they were both taking damage, and you would technically be healing both of them. That's another one. And yeah, then they just have all those cards and the shuffles and the spreads and all that stuff. The Bacon of Light. My bad. The Bacon of Light.
Still a thing.
Love the Bacon of Light. Who doesn't love bacon? And then we're coming towards the end here. We already talked about Disciples of Hand and Land on a previous show. We didn't learn anything new there.
Right.
But you ready for this Zerg of information here at the end?
Yes.
The first new dungeon will drop item level 120 gear. That would be Dusk Vigil.
Yep.
It will have mechanics similar to Coil and a boss similar to Reflation.
Who's gonna get eaten?
Who's gonna die to Bouquet? That's what I want to know. What else do we got?
Or will they die to Bouquet?
The Ravana fight will be similar to a combination of Ifrit and Titan. Don't fall off. There's new emotes coming, one of which is the /Brofist emote. Thank you,
Yes!
PewDiePie, for the emote.
Yes.
Because we all know that PewDiePie invented the Brofist, according to the internet. He made it popular. He made it a lot more popular than it is. 2 new emotes. That's obviously the most important part of the whole thing, so we should just end the show on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Good night, everyone.
Allowing you to bring your chocobos into dungeons with you. They did it.
Woo!
They did it, guys.
Woo!
They did it. I can't wait for us to find out this isn't correct, but they did it. Bandit, you'll no longer see any abuse.
I don't abuse Bandit. I will show y'all how capable Bandit can be at times. He just does dumb shit outside of dungeons. He might do dumb shit in dungeons. Like, this might be the time y'all see your chocobos do dumb shit. Just letting you know. Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
The ability to queue for dungeons is only 3 people. We kind of knew about this. Queue with less than the required amount of people. The dungeon clear time rankings. So the leaderboards for how fast people have cleared dungeons.
Yeah, speed runs, yay.
No Zodiac weapons for the 3 new jobs. We knew that. This is an important one. A system that allows you to glamour any parts of the Zodiac questline without redoing it. So do you like the Nexus look better than your Zodiac? Do you like the Zodiac look without the glow of the Zeta? Do you like your just plain Relic and you want it back? You'll be able to do all of that. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. There we go.
Why?
It had to be done. Because I was setting it up for it the whole time.
Okay.
Let's see what else. 3 new attractions to the Gold Saucer. Obviously not right in 3.0, but 3 whole new attractions. Not just 1 anymore. We know of the 1 that's coming in 3.1, but there's 3 now being planned for all of Heavensward. Sly, you're not saying anything. I thought this would have been your happy place.
Not really. I want to know what they are. I just don't. I just don't want the monster talk.
Flying Chocobo Racing. Come on, man.
I mean, it says attraction, so I'm thinking it's like the stuff, the little stuff within.
No, it says big attractions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like snowboarding. Maybe snowboarding. Maybe Battle Square. Maybe Blitzball.
Jury's still out on that one.
Blitzball. Come on, man. It's got to be Blitzball. AKA
Don't get me started on Blitzball.
AKA Football Manager in water.
I know. God.
Oh man. And then we have what else? Men can wear bunny suits.
Yay.
Sly's favorite part right there.
Who wants to see Mr. Face as a bunny?
Listen, he doesn't wear anything, all right? He wears makeup. That's what Mr. Face wears. He wears makeup. New housing plots in 3.1. Not the Ishgard ones. New plots in the existing areas. So don't calm down. If you're looking for a house, you'll be able to get one then. The ability to hire a 5th retainer. They still haven't said whether or not that's for $2 more or not.
I don't care. I'll get it.
Sly, I did spring cleaning the other day.
Oh, you finally did. High five.
Yeah, I'm half done.
Half done.
I'm half done with the spring cleaning. I stopped and then I started keeping items again. New Beastman dailies in 3.05 or 3.1. They haven't decided yet. And then, of course, we know the release schedule for Alex Normal and Alex Savage. And the last thing we want to talk about is the confirmed item levels. Or at least some of the confirmed item levels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that you'll be real interested in this one. So, you know all the item levels for the game back when A Realm Reborn came out, right? Like, you know how the AF was like I-45, and then you had the I-50 body, or the I-55 body, actually. And then you had the, like, I-55 Grand Company gear, and you had the I-70 Dark Light, and then you had I-80 from Crystal Tower, and I-90 from Coil. Yeah, it's almost the same as that, but with a 1 on the front. The new Dark Light equivalent will be 170. Literally 100 item levels directly over its earlier counterpart. And as you're leveling, your item level is going to step up every 2 levels. So every 2 levels, you're going to see an item level jump while you're leveling. Your gear should realistically last you a pretty long time. Because with that information, I'm led to believe that at 52, it'll be 110, 54, it'll be 120, 53, etc. So it'll last around till level 56-ish, which is where I kind of predicted it before.
So 54 and 55 are probably going to be the reasonable.
That's probably where you'll start seeing potential replacements, is around that area.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, here is the tier of gear. Here's how it works. You have AF2 gear, right? Yeah. Which is probably around like 150, 155. You have Dark Light at item level 170. You then have the upgraded Dark Light. So you have Law gear, which is the Dark Light, upgraded Law gear. Then you have Alex normal gear. Then you have Esoteric gear, and then you have Alex hard gear. 5 different sets of gear to collect, and by the time like 3.02 comes out with Alex Savage.
Gotta get them all.
The Alex Savage gear apparently has the exact same look, different item level, and it can be dyed. So that's a lot of friggin' gear. And for all you crafters out there, crafted gear is not coming until 3.05. So you can't cheese Savage mode or the raids with crafted gear. By the time you would consider it, you'll probably, have already cleared normal and have collected a bunch of gear anyway.
So July, maybe?
Yeah, I mean 3.05 is probably not Savage. That's probably a month after Savage comes out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking like late July.
Yeah,
I'd say
probably somewhere around that. So.
And you want to know the good thing about all this little info that you just went over?
What is good about all this little info that I just went over?
I love that they showed off the goon, though.
Yeah, they showed off that I-170 Dragoon gear.
And that spear, though.
I'm not a big fan of the I-170 Dragoon.
Oh, come on!
To be honest.
Oh, wait. Okay, I can see where you're saying it within the armor, but what about the weapon, though?
Here, hold on. I'm bringing it up on the screen.
Yes, please.
I'm trying to bring it up on the screen, but it's not popping up. Super professional. There we go. All right. Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, okay, the weapon is badass. That's what kind of weapon? What is that called? Those kind of spears? It begins with a G, doesn't it?
It's not a halberd.
Does that begin with a G? Is that kind of spear? I feel like that's a spear that begins with a G. Is it a Naginata? It's the glaive. I think glaive is what I was thinking of, but I think it might be a Naginata. Or a Gizarm, whichever one. For some reason, I was thinking glaive. Yeah, I was thinking glaive, beginning with a G. I was confusing it with a Gisarm. Or a glaive. Whatever. It's a spear, all right. It's a spear with a blade at the end.
It's an awesome fucking spear with a blade at the end.
It's a really cool spear. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of the armor, though. I'm a bigger fan of the armor they keep showing off in the trailers and whatnot. Not this. This I'm not that big of a fan of, to be honest.
So
the spear is cool.
So if indeed this is in fact 170 gear, you're probably going to glamour it, aren't you?
You're implying I'm going to play Dragoon.
I'm done.
Done.
I
like how you pick up the towel to try and
Yeah. This soft and comfy towel.
Why don't you show us the towel again?
Yeah. See,
it's upside down, you idiot.
Fuck you.
You had it in your lap for like 5 minutes, and you just...
No, it was on my side. It was right here to my left side. Ass.
Oh, towel.
Don't be mad because you don't have one. Just don't. Yeah.
Listen, I'll air dry. I don't care. I'll air dry wearing a Final Fantasy XIV shirt.
I don't try using this towel. Why would I do that?
Because it's a towel.
You don't do that to this towel.
You don't... Listen, Slyh, if I stood in 4 hours in a line to buy a towel, I'd use the damn towel.
I stood 45.
I would immediately buy the towel and be like, man, it was so hot in this Merc line. Let me...
45 minutes on Sunday.
So like I said, 4 hours.
45 minutes on Sunday.
Yeah, listen, you had the VIP. That
no,
I more...
didn't.
Oh,
I didn't. Like, once the doors opened, I went right to the merch line.
That's dedication right there.
And Amy sold me my shit.
All right. Sorry. So that's pretty much all we really had to talk about. I mean, yeah, that's it. That's all we had to talk about. Nothing big.
Nothing big, just a live letter with a lot of information. Okay, if you had to rate this live letter out of every single one you've seen, what would you give it?
This is the ballpark 10 out of 10 one. This is my ballpark one. I keep trying to open the damn window with pictures and it keeps like not doing it. There we go. This would be my ballpark 10 out of 10 one.
Yeah, I'd kind of have to agree. Like with me being new to the community, me seeing all the live letters up from when I first started with this game, yeah, this is one of the best live letters I've seen. Even though, like, the thing about live letters is you leave with a lot of questions. This one, I didn't feel like we had a lot of questions. We left with a lot of questions. We left with the fewest amount of questions I've seen. Like, we have a lot of information. There are a few questions that we do have, but we're going to find those out soon.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. But, yeah, we got a lot of information out of this live letter. It was probably the longest live letter, I've ever seen. So, definitely a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through some pictures that was shared with the stream earlier. And, yeah, these are pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, the cake! The fat chocobo with the cake!
Yes!
Yes, look at it! Look at the fat... See, look, it's cake. Is that a strawberry short... I think it's a strawberry shortcake.
How do you know what cake it is?
I don't know. It looks like a strawberry shortcake, alright? I'm telling you it's a strawberry shortcake. And it's funny because it looks like you keep the, yeah, it dangles the Gasol green to the side. And just so, because you hold the green in one hand and the cake in the other hand. So you're actually dangling both.
Looks like a candy cane.
Oh, there's the Y'shtola shield right there. That looks so cool, the Y'shtola shield.
Mm.
So does that mean Y'shtola was an Astrologian all the time and she was holding out on us?
Maybe she went.
She led us to believe she was a conjurer. She lied. She lied to all of us.
Lies.
I trusted her. Just going through some of the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Got anything? Any last things you want to say about this live letter, Sly?
No, I've said what I thought. It really has been an awesome live letter, and I can't wait to see, because we're getting more information at E3 during the week of E3. So it's on a Tuesday. Let me check my new and pretty Final Fantasy X-2 calendar. It's on the 16th.
Oh my god.
No.
If Y'shtola was lying to us that whole time, does that make her Y'shtrola?
Really? Really?
I saw somebody else say it.
No.
I saw someone else say it. Her name is Y'shtrola. She trolled us. Or Y'shtrologian.
Astrologian.
There you go. Oh my god, it is Rafflesia. That boss is Rafflesia. I'm literally looking at the screenshot, and that boss is Rafflesia. That is Rafflesia. Like, there's no way around it.
So many face palms from the happy joke. I know.
That wasn't my joke. I took it from someone else.
Well, you said it. Yes. So the Square Enix conference is on the 16th. So we will be getting some more information right before early access. So please look forward to it. Hi.
That's literally Rafflesia. It's literally Rafflesia. Like, in a different place. Oh man, I gotta get on Behemoth after we're done tonight, Sly, because you gotta add
yes. Yes.
What time is? We'll talk about that in the post show. Anyway,
we'll talk about it.
So if we don't have any final thoughts, then that's show for the night. Is that show for the night, Sly?
That is show.
All right, guys, real quick.
Almost as long as the unlock letter.
Sly, it's only been 2 hours.
I know.
So,
I said
unless you're implying that we're still going to be here for another hour.
I'm not.
Okay.
So please don't.
Okay. Good. All right. So before we get going, real quick, last week at the end of the show, I made a mistake and said that Ethis Asher would be on this show. Ethis Asher, as some of you may know him, the lore guy, will be on next week's show for a very special episode of State of the Realm. If you're a lore junkie, I highly recommend you come by and find out how little Sly and me really know.
Yeah.
How few NPCs out in the world we've actually spoken to, and how much we don't care about the post-moogle quest.
He said it, not me, but I agree with him.
He said it in the pre-show. All right,
I did.
I'm ratting on him.
If they're gonna ask us questions about freaking like NPCs we meet during post-moogle quests, like I'm gonna ask Raze, but I doubt Raze remembers any of the NPC during the post-moogle quest. If you do, Raze, prove me wrong. Let me know. Use your words.
When you call her Razi, it makes me. I want to call Raz. Hey, there we go. It's not only a special show; it's a lore trivia show. That's why you're going to find out how little we know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Dragoon for 1,000. What is the name of the 3rd Legion Dragoon on the west quadrant of the walls of Ishgard?
What?
I'll take Dragoon for 200, please.
I'm like, what?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of some like crazy difficult question that probably has no answer in the game because I couldn't. If it was a question I knew, then I couldn't have said it because that means I knew it and I could have answered it. It had to be something I didn't know. Hopefully, you guys will join us for next week's show.
Yes, it'll be interesting.
Interesting is definitely the right word. So thank you everyone for coming out and supporting the show tonight. First, let me sign off with our co-host, Sly, a.k.a. Slythefox, a.k.a. Slyh, a.k.a. Greyfox, a.k.a. You my boy, Blue. See, I promised I wouldn't do the other nicknames.
Thank you.
This week, I promised. All right, tell them where they can find you, my man.
You can find me on twitter.com/Slythefox. You can find me on Twitch at Slyh, a.k.a. Greyfox. You can find me on Instagram at Slyh, a.k.a. Greyfox07. You can find me on Behemoth at Fox Slyh, where tomorrow will be a ceremony of eternal bonding. Please look forward to it. Hi.
I pointed in the wrong direction again. The damn towel. You know what I'm going to do from now on? I'm going to put the show to my left so I know to point in the right direction. I'm going to put Sly's camera to the left of everything. So I'm like, yeah, there he is. Be like, yeah. All right. Anyway, on that note, now that Sly's rubbed the towel in my face in a non-literal sense,
Much.
I am your other host, Michael, Mr. Happy Poveromo. If you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, you already know where to find me. If not, don't know where you're watching it. You'll find me at Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Mr. Happy 1227, and YouTube, Xehanort 1227. But if you YouTube Mr. Happy 1227, you'll probably still find me. You know, probably. Yeah. On that note, us and the Dream Network would like to thank you guys for coming out. Be sure to check out our official forums in the description of the video on YouTube. And if you're watching us here live, you know, just type !Dream in the chat. I'll wait. I could do it. Why am I not doing it?
Why are you waiting?
Yeah, why am I waiting? I want them to do it. There we go. Support the network. Support the Dream. DreamNetwork.tv. There we go. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. We will see you guys next week so you can watch us be bad at lore. And until then, take care. Sly, you don't want to wave or say bye? Or that's wax on, wax off. What do you do?
Do you want me to go vintage like Miss America?
We're ending this show. Goodbye, everyone.
Why did you have me wait?